Hi everyone, Agnes here, and welcome to another 5 questions today. Today I'm with Sharen and she is in Singapore. So welcome, Sharen.
Hello, Agnes. I'm so grateful to have you answer my viewer question on this channel. I've been following you for 3 years and I'm really grateful for all your videos that you have made over the years. It has inspired me a lot and have definitely helped me a lot on my journey. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
Yes. So shall I start off with my first question first?
Yep.
Okay, Agnes. Many coaches actually they talk about the importance of the self-concept, but I realized that you don't cover that much of self-concept, but more on self-love. So I just like to find out what's the difference between the self-concept and the self-love.
Okay. I think they're the same thing. Self-concept is how you conceive yourself, how you think about yourself, and self-love is how you would treat yourself and how much self-care, self-worth you have. So I think the words are pretty similar, as in what they imply. Yeah.
Because I actually heard that there is a difference. The self-concept is actually the identity of a person. So whereas self-love is like a part of the self-concept. So in order to be able to manifest, we need to have a clear idea of who we are. So that's why I would like to clarify this point, because on your channel I've seen many success stories of viewers who actually just they manifest success in many areas just by doing this self-love itself. So yeah, that's why I wanted to find out what's the difference. And do you think it is important to actually, when knowing this self-concept, to probably have a broader perspective of not only who we are, the roles that we play, like a higher purpose in life itself? Because sometimes when we just narrowly define ourselves by the roles that we play as the wife or as a mother, sometimes when things don't go well, that's where our whole world collapses. So do you think it's important to have a broader perspective of?
Well, I think it is. I mean, it does have to do with the roles we play and the concept we have of ourselves. But I think sometimes we make it more complicated than it needs to be. I think it's keeping it simple. And I think it's, how, if my self-love is good, if I'm really grounded in feeling I am love and I'm secure and I'm good enough, then the way you think about yourself as a wife, as an employee, as a mother, as a father, as a, even an athlete, as a successful business owner, if your self-love's good, I don't really think you have to put the focus so much on my self-concept, because you will just be in a good state to be a good mother, to be a good boss, to be a good father, to be a good worker, or whatever it is that you struggle with. Because underneath the supposed self-concept is, how do I feel about myself in all of these different ways? So rather than tackling the branches on the tree, I think it's easier to go to the root, the base of the tree, which is, how self-loving am I? And then it affects all the branches. That, I think, is easier in my experience, because I do, Sharen, hear a lot about self-concept, but I think it's like you're looking at the external layer rather than looking at the base root. So that's why I don't go into it that much, because I don't think it's as important as going to the base root of the tree. That's why I always go to the self-love first.
So the self-love is
if that makes
not
sense.
the typical, it's not the typical type of self-care that we usually know. It's a lot deeper than that. So what else do you
Yeah.
suggest that we do to embody like the state of self-love in all areas of our lives? Besides the meditation, do you think reading is important, to have the wisdom? Because without that, the true understanding of what really is life all about, just having that, I guess it's difficult to cut through the fears and the doubts that comes up, as we go on in life. No matter how self-loving we are, sometimes life throws us obstacles, and
Mm.
there we go down the rabbit hole again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I think Sharon, yes, I think reading is important. I think learning is important. I think applying the knowledge that we read is important. But I think I think the most important thing is spending time in the quiet and getting to the place of peace and making the effort to get better at being just between you and God, you and source, you and infinite intelligence. As we discussed, it depends what
Yes.
word you prefer.
Mm-mm.
And it's getting to the place where you learn to sit, relax, and be in a surrendered and allowing state. And I think that's the thing that people struggle with the most. And I think these days, with all the books, all the YouTubes, all
Yes.
the information has just exploded being at your fingertips, which is really wonderful. But I also think it's got another side of the coin where people are constantly, looking up things from a place of anxiety, stress, fear, and they're looking to relieve those things. But the relief is more in the disconnection from those things, I find, and sitting
Yes.
in nature, sitting away from technology, moving away from once you found what you need to know, then it's coming back to that quiet place and being relaxed and just being in peace, in joy, in relaxedness, because so many people are quite stressed and tense and anxious. I hear so many
Yes,
people
yes,
have
definitely.
anxiety.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And they
So,
can't calm themselves down because they are just so caught up in their, the problems that they
yeah,
have, the life that they have, and
correct.
constantly going from channel to channel, information to
Yes.
information. And yeah, so I really agree. It's just like sitting down quietly, it's just enjoying
Mm,
the moment as it is, the
yeah,
quiet presence, and the peace that just comes about. It's just,
that's right.
I guess
That's
it's
the
like your
way.
thinking mind just stops.
Sharon, I think relaxing and being surrendered is the hardest thing for people, especially when
Mm-mm.
they want a relationship. It's
Yes.
like, I need to find the technique, I need to work out how to do it. And I understand that because I did the same. But
Mm-mm.
the more I go along this journey, the more relaxed you are about everything, the less trying to
Mm.
control, the less trying to force, the less trying to make it happen, the less trying to follow everything up, the less
Mm.
you try and remind people and poke them, hey, you didn't whatever. It's stopping all those addictive, pushing, forcing behaviors in us. Once
Mhm.
you get good at that, pulling
Mm.
back, allowing, and I mean, Abraham Hicks talks about allowing all the time. She
Yes, yes,
says the
definitely.
art of
Oh.
allowing, it is an art because so many people
Mm-mm.
can't do it. So if you can become
Mm.
more obsessed with learning how to allow than your specific person, your relationship, your job, your money, your boss, your family, if you can become obsessed with one thing, and
Yes.
it's learning how to become good at the art of allowing and letting the fruit ripen on its own, that is when your life will absolutely flourish. Because the more I work with people, the more I see patterns and things in the world and around the world. Because as you know, I work with people, on Zoom, and they're in all different countries. But the collective consciousness of the planet around relationships especially is dissatisfaction.
Okay.
And that one thing is about, I'm not happy here, I want to get where that relationship is. I'm not happy here, I want to get where that relationship is. So the dissatisfaction is the collective consciousness around the world.
Okay.
So now, and it doesn't matter how old you are, what sexual preference you have, what age you are, what culture you are, there is a collective consciousness around dissatisfaction in relationships. And thinking that if I can get to where my relationship is, I will be satisfied. And that's what handbrakes so many people. If you can relax and go, you know what? I know that my relationship will come to me when I'm in the right mental state and the right emotional state. And that state is, it has to be a state of being, there's enough time. I'm at the right place at the right time. My relationship finds me. When the timing's right, we just find each other. When you come from that allowing place in your thinking and in your emotions, when you move away from the anxiousness and the trying to get and to try to make it happen, that's when it all clicks into place. Allowing is the golden jewel. Surrender is the golden jewel. Relaxing is the golden jewel. Being in all other parts of your life, enjoying it with, you know what, thank you, God, for this day. And I'm going to do whatever I can to be of service and to enjoy connections with other people and to let go of being lonely and trying to get and trying to force and trying to control and try to make it happen. When you let go of those addictive habits in you, that's when the relationship shows up, you see.
Yes. That was what I realized too. And I've been in manifesting groups for a few
Yes.
years, and I really, really see the, like what you mentioned,
Yeah.
the grasping and the time that they put on the relationship to manifest. So if the relationship does not manifest in 1 year, 2 years, something must have, you must have done something wrong, or you know I have
Yeah.
seen a coach, Corey T, a viewer actually mentioned something on her channel that the reason why she took so long to manifest a special person was because she believed that they needed time to heal. So that was why the manifestation took such a long time. So there is a lot of grasping out there. I just see the underlying, the consciousness is just like, if you want it, you can have it anytime. It's your beliefs that manifest. So Agnes, is that true that just our beliefs solely are responsible for our manifestations, or do you believe that there's such a thing as probably soul lessons that our special person would have to go through, or are there other also divine laws and for all forces at play that you know determine when your manifestation would come about? Because it's not just you believe that you are ready, but your person has to be ready. Your person probably has some healing or soul lessons also that he or she has to go through, and there may be some other, maybe divine timing and all that. What is your view on this?
Good question. I think our beliefs definitely affect our relationship or absence of a relationship. So in terms of your beliefs, they come in two parts: your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about them, if you have a specific person, or in general about men or women. And then also your beliefs about specific men or women. So your exes, or your current person that you'd like to manifest, or if you don't have a specific person or an ex, it might be your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you have about being in a new relationship, meeting a new person. So I think if you can sit down and write down a couple of columns: first column, your negative beliefs you have about yourself. The next column, your negative, you would have some good beliefs about those things too, but those you don't need to work on because they're okay. So it's looking at the negative ones. So first column, negative beliefs you have about yourself, negative beliefs you have about relationships in general, and then negative beliefs you have about men, women, whatever one you prefer to date, and any exes in particular, or a specific person that you have. You write anything that you can think of, and you will, if you can observe that for a week, you will say to yourself, wow, I just thought this thought, I didn't know I was thinking that, because it was just on automatic pilot. But I can see I have a belief, relationships are hard. Okay, I didn't know I had that one. Or my relationships are hard. Or say about a specific person, they're stubborn, or they don't see my worth, or they have so many other issues in their lives, they're not ready for a relationship. So you can see what you think about. And once you get those lists down, it's a really great thing, Sharen, to say, okay, now I can see why I don't have a relationship. Here's my beliefs that I need to change. And then you work on changing them. If it's my relationships are hard, you go, okay, if I say to myself, my relationship is easy, I can't believe that. It's too big a jump. So I might start with, wouldn't it be nice if my relationship was easy?
Okay.
That's from Abraham Hicks. Wouldn't it be nice if? It makes it easier for your belief system to absorb that, you see. So you go through them and then you start changing them. And if it helps you to do, wouldn't it be nice if, before you make the absolute statement, like my relationships are easy, it gives you an easier way to get there without your belief system rejecting it, So it's about believability. You have to, I think, sometimes stretch the rubber band a little bit, but so it doesn't snap. Because if your head goes, I'm never going to believe that my relationships are easy. With my history, I can't believe that. I just can't. So you go, okay, let me soften it. Let me make it a stepping stone so it's easier. So I find that really helps. Now, in terms of what you said about, is it soul lessons or divine timing, or, those sorts of things, I think, the way that God, infinite intelligence, runs the planet is, something hugely unknown to many of us. So I do think that there is timing. Neville calls it the appointed time. We can call it divine timing. Abraham Hicks talks about, once you get into the vortex, that's when your warehouse opens. There's the different ways of how it's described. I really think that once you sort your own stuff out, like truly, and what I mean by that is your inner child, all your old memories, all your old reoccurring patterns that you've got from your childhood, once you process a lot of that, what I mean by process is you let out the old emotions, because as Neville says, the past is still alive in us. So it's like, what happened to you here as a child, especially for those people that experienced parents with addictions, abuse, neglect, and being criticized, being bullied, all these things affects our relationships today. And those things are still alive in us, if we're having difficulty in relationships here and now. So if you've got, say, for example, a childhood issue with being abandoned, as in a parent died, a parent with an addiction, divorce,
Yes.
or even just a parent that went to work a lot because they were struggling with money and you didn't get to see them, that in itself, they were trying to take care of you, but you as a child, especially when you're small, you just feel like you're being abandoned. You don't understand the adult world yet. So it's really important to say, okay, I know I've got abandonment issues. I know I've got a fear of loss. When that happens to me today in a relationship, it is devastating because I still have a lot of this old undercurrent from my childhood. So if you can go back, clean up your childhood and deal with your inner child issues and process and let go of the old emotions, you can do that with the inner child meditation. Dr. Hugh Len's got the inner child meditation, the spotlight meditation on my channel, and I'll put the links to all these below for people that, you know, want to clear their old stuff. If you work on that regularly, then what happens is it changes how you then relate to someone today, as in attracting someone new, attracting a specific person, or for those people that want to attract an ex back, those things become possibilities, and good possibilities, because you are no longer operating from, I need you to be my parent. I need you to be my oxygen tank of love. I need you to be my source of love. And I think a lot of this relationship topic is really difficult for so many because people try and make someone else their source of love, and they don't learn to develop their source of love coming from within and coming from God's source, infinite intelligence. So it's unhooking yourself from that parent-child dynamic that so many people have in relationship, and learning to balance yourself. And then you relearn to become a loving being whose love overflows to somebody. Because when you have a specific person or an ex or someone you want to attract, it's a beautiful thing in itself. And once you learn to come at it from, I am love and I'm going to overflow that to you, that relationship can be amazing, because you're not looking to them for love and they're not trying to run away from you anymore, because they don't feel that you trying to take energy, get energy from you anymore. So as you learn to, I think, mature, because it's a maturing of the self in relationship, and your specific person, your ex, or even just your loneliness, if you don't have a relationship at all and you're looking for a brand new relationship, once you correct this in yourself and you're no longer looking to them to be your oxygen tank of love, your relationships will be so good, and they will get better and better over time, like a bottle of wine.
Yes, it's so true, Agnes. And I realize it's actually not only the relationships or that we have with our parents, but also with our friends, because a relationship is actually also based on a friendship. So I
Yes.
realized over the years that through the friendships, especially the close ones, you learn so much about yourself too. And I realized that even in friendships, we do have an attachment to friendship, like in the relationships, you know. So had over the years, so many lost many friendships, and through the course of it, learn so much more also about ourselves, about friendship, the attachment style. It's not only about the parent. I find that it is in all aspects of how you actually relate to others in friendship. And like what you mentioned, are you trying to get love from even your friends, you know, your attention, your love, your source of happiness from your friendships? So all these actually, I find that yeah, I mean, I really, really had to take a good look in all aspects of my life, even in my
Yeah.
friendship. Yeah. So when they do break down, then you just realize, you know,
Mm.
but sometimes it's because we grow and learn, then friends who do not serve us anymore,
Mm.
they just naturally fade away. It's just like a relationship, those that um no longer serves us. It just, yeah, you
Yeah.
just don't end up with that partner, or
Yes.
no longer in contact with your close friends. We are
Mm.
always growing and changing. So yeah, I mean, I learned so much over the years. So I guess the whole manifestation journey is about learning about ourselves. Like what you mentioned, it's not so much about the specific person, the relationship, the
Mm.
money, the car, the job. Is learning about ourselves and our minds. But it's not easy, because we
Yeah.
are like undoing years of conditioning. So sometimes
Yes.
when I'm very frank with certain people, especially in the manifesting group, um, it would not be they actually don't enjoy to hear the truth. At times,
Yeah.
I mean, probably we are at different points in our
Yeah.
in our on our journey. So
Learning.
learning
Yeah.
journey. So when we see certain patterns in others, and we point that out, yeah, it might not come across as something that they are ready to hear at that point in time.
That's so true.
So true. So many times, I have a very close friend. So I find that lately she's into God state manifesting. Have you heard of that? So I
Yeah,
find that some of
but
these,
explain it a bit for the people that go into it a bit though. Yeah.
I, I'm not sure, but because I don't really use that, but I know that these God state meditations are is a way to empower people and to remind them that they are God. They can create their own reality. They are the God of their reality. But I find that underlying all these God state meditation, there is again this: I have to get that. I
Yep.
have to do something. There is always a getting that, and they seem to, yeah, they seem to create even more of this chasing. I have
Yeah.
to do this. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a surrender state. It is about trying to control. I'm God of my relative, so I can control everyone and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yes. I've seen that. I've seen that a lot too, Sharon.
yes. So over the years, I just realized I actually don't watch a lot of videos now, because a lot of
Yeah.
the videos are um maybe not in alignment with what I believe. So
Yes.
yeah, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because I think sometimes, you know, like you're saying, it's using these, whether it's a meditation or a technique, to
techniques, yeah.
still push your will onto everything. Now,
Yes, yes.
I've seen it a lot too, and I'm not a big fan of it, whether it's a technique or whether it's this type of thing, because I do
Yeah.
think that we are God. We are connected to this amazing
Yes.
power.
Universal.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
runs the world. It runs nature. It runs the the animal kingdom. It runs all of these amazing systems. The birds, the plants, the everything runs off this amazing system that was here long before we were here and will be still here long after we go. So,
Yes.
but I think there comes a point where you can say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to really look at me, and I'm going to look at the things that I do that are not let's say helpful in me manifesting. Might say I've
Yes.
got addictions, or I've got bad habits, or I've got tendencies to look outside of me for love, and then I put that onto people. So I'm going to correct all these things in me, and I'm going to work on that,
Mm.
and I'm going to get better at becoming a loving being. and connecting with the God within. And I'm going to then, if I choose to manifest something, because it's something I would like, a person, a new house, a job, an amazing holiday, I'm going to use what I know about imagining, about affirming, and about scripting, a vision board, because those things are fun. But then I'm also going to remember that the person that brings to me, not the person, the system, the infinite intelligence that brings this to me is in charge of packaging and timing. How it gets here and how it looks, that is not something I can influence, because I need to remember, and this is the bit that I think is really important, is having some humility. Do your bit, but watch the arrogance. And that's what I think is what is really repelling, is when you see people using certain techniques, certain ways of looking at law of attraction. It's like they're still using these systems to force things into being.
There's an underlying distrust, I feel, in life itself. So that's why you have to manage everything.
Yeah.
If you're really trusting, living in the end, why do you need to, why do you need to do so much?
Exactly.
I'm not saying that you don't have to do anything, but it's different. The point that they are coming from, the place that they are coming from is really very different. And
it is.
some of the videos I saw about parallel realities is quite it's quite difficult to understand. They actually mentioned that there are different versions of us and they all look the same, but they are a different person, that sort of thing, or with same faces. Is just a lot of confusing information that is going on around.
I think it's knowing the laws, the law of assumption, the law of projection, the law of attraction, and there's many other laws. If you look up on Google and put in the laws or the spiritual laws, and you can explore a lot of them, and they're really interesting. But I think there is, if you can stay in that place of quiet, humble confidence, rather than arrogant pushing and forcing your will confidence, I think you get much further. Because if you still think that you've got power and control over everything, then you're going to suffer. You will suffer. So I think it's learning about surrender, letting go, and allowing. I think that is the most beautiful part of manifesting.
So do you think that the empowerment that many people are talking about, the feeling of empowerment, is actually self-love, letting go, and surrender?
I do. I do. I mean, years ago, Sharen, I would have done all that, try and manifest something within 30 days or, all that stuff, manifest this in a week and all, I mean, I went through all that too, because I thought, I'm so uncomfortable in my own emotions. I need to get something for my emotions to feel better, for myself to feel better. Whereas now it's like, when you can find the feeling place of something, and it's almost like you play a game with yourself and you say, you know what? Oh, I'd really love a new home, or I'd really love that amazing relationship, or that amazing holiday to that resort in the Bahamas or something. But you know what? I don't need that to be happy, because I'm happy now. And thank you for giving me the desire so that I can play with it and enjoy the feeling place beforehand. But you know what? Infinite intelligence, I really want to show myself that I can be happy irregardless of what I get or don't get, and I'm no longer at the mercy of that next bright shiny object of I have to have that for me to feel satisfied, otherwise I'm going to be in dissatisfaction, and I'm going to try and let go of the dissatisfaction, but I just need to get that. You will find there comes a point in your journey where you go, I want that, I'm dissatisfied, I'm going to try and get it, then you get it, and then you're happy for a month or two, or it
Yes.
might be a year.
Yeah.
But as
Yes.
soon as then you've got the next bright shiny object that you
You're
want
always
something,
chasing.
and
Yes. Yes.
you're always chasing the next thing, and you will go from moments of satisfaction to long moments of dissatisfaction. But once you realize that in yourself, it's
Mm.
not about
Yes.
the thing. It's not about the thing. It's not about the thing. It's about me learning to harness my
Yes.
mental state and my ability to be satisfied. That's a person that understands the laws,
And the
because
true
you
power. Yeah.
in the true power, because you're not,
Power.
there's always going to be something on the outside that has the potential to come and disturb you. But how good are you at keeping that outside and then saying, you know what, I can be happy irregardless of whether people like me. I don't need to keep affirming I am beautiful and everybody loves me, because why would you need everybody to love you? That's
Mm.
a lot of work. What if I just say I love and approve of myself? And if someone
Mm.
likes me or doesn't like me, I'm okay with that. That's more powerful, because you're no longer then dependent on external circumstances and you having affirmations to control the external circumstances for you to feel good here and now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you will go in your journey and you will get to the point where you see that you keep chasing the next thing. And that
Yeah.
usually happens. I mean, people use law of attraction for so many things, and it's wonderful to play around with it. But you'll get to a point where you see yourself and you go, wow, I'm chasing the next thing. I'm chasing the next thing. I'm chasing the next thing. I'm looking for
Yes.
techniques to get the next thing. And you
Yes.
will
Yes.
see you are never at peace when you do that. You're not.
Yes, and I just realized actually, in the past I used to do affirmations. I am loved, I am cherished, I am a priority, but it's
Yes.
still trying to use it to control the outside. So it just never
Yeah.
sits very well with me. Until lately, I just had this realization that I am loved, I am
Yeah.
cherished, and I am a priority because I can give that to myself. And I
Yes.
just feel so peaceful and so empowered. I've been trying to tell a very good friend that your true inner power is not needing anything. That's the
Yeah.
true power. But many
It
people,
is.
they don't understand, because I
No.
have my own spiritual practice. So
Yes.
the whole manifesting is about everything out there is not as true as it seems, as real as it seems. The five senses and everything is all in the mind. Is
Yeah.
created in the mind, and when all the conditions comes together, that's how you see Anyas, you see a building, you see your SP. So everything
Yeah.
is created by the mind. So if you can really, to me, I just realized living in the end means really knowing that, oh, I actually don't have to have that thing. I can just be that thing itself in that relationship or in
Yes.
the country. I don't have to travel. This just came to me over the years. Over the years, and
Yeah.
because of that I lost many friends also. Yeah,
Yeah.
on my manifestation journey, because it's such a sensitive topic. So
Yeah, it
friendships
is.
broken down one after another, but I realized that um
Yeah.
it is really all about ourselves, coming back home to
Yeah.
ourselves. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
so true. And, I mean, I remember like 25 years ago, I used to do, I am,
yeah.
I'm a priority. I'm
Mm.
important. And I'm not saying those affirmations, I'm wanted. Like, I'm not saying those affirmations aren't good. I think it depends
Mm.
on where you are, which affirmations you do. Now, I am wanted implies it's coming from someone else. I'm a
Yes.
priority implies it's coming from someone else. I am chosen, I'm cherished, I'm the prize. All these things are about someone else giving you validation and reassurance. So over the years, you know, because I used to recommend all those affirmations, and if people still want to
Yes.
do them, it's fine.
Yes. Yes.
But for me in my own life today, it's really just, it boils down to kind of two affirmations, really. I am love, which is for me personally,
Yes.
and I am successful for my business. So it's only two affirmations and that's it now. It doesn't have to be a long list. Now, can you play around with others at different times? Yeah, of course you can. But I find I've sort of cut all that down, and it's two affirmations. It's the simplicity over time. And that's the thing that takes time, is all that information, which bits are the most important. And I think it's what you do in here that then generates your emotion.
Yes.
And it's being really clear about what is it that I want to experience, which is I want to experience love. And I want to experience having a thriving, you know, job or business, whatever it is. And, you know, I mean, I do say I am healthy sometimes, but I feel pretty healthy most of the time because I have a good routine in place. So I don't really need to say that all the time like I used to when I was overworking, making not enough money, and then having hardly any time off, you know. I have enough time, I have enough love, I have enough money. So it's working out which affirmations resonate with you here and now for where you're at. And over time, those things change. And it's good because you've learned more. So you use what's relevant to your here and now.
Will there be a time where you don't need any affirmations because you just know it, you just feel it in you, you know?
I think so. I mean, I think so. I think I used to do lots of affirmations and lots of different meditations for different, you know, for the relationship, for the
For
SP,
the
for the, you know,
for the job.
I mean,
Yeah.
these days,
Yeah.
yeah, for the job, these days, if I meditate, it's a surrender and letting go meditation. It's a crackling fire meditation with no talking, just because I want to just be in that state of love. So I just listen to that and fall asleep. I still do that one every night. I've been doing that one for about 2 years,
Wow.
where I just go to YouTube, put in crackling fire, and I just listen to the crackling fire, and then I just fall asleep doing I am love. And now for me, because I grew up partly in Canada and there were a lot of fireplaces there in winter, that's a really lovely childhood thing for me to hear that. So it's finding them. Sometimes it's, you know, people love ocean waves, or they love, you
The
know,
sound
the
of the rain.
tropical
Yeah.
rainforest, you know, the rain,
Then
the
the
birds, those
rain, the
type of things.
birds.
So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what is it for you that just resonates? So I find the more surrender and letting go you can do, all the subjects work out. You don't have to do relationship meditations, or you don't have to do creating money meditations. What I find is the more you relax and release, and Michael Singer talks about that a lot. He's wonderful to listen to for those people who want to listen. He wrote the book, The Surrender Experiment. And a lot of it contradicts a lot of the LOA stuff, which is really interesting. All of a sudden you go, wow, okay, I never thought about it this way. And I find the surrender work and the letting go work and the allowing work is the way to go. And you get in your mind the end result, you give thanks in advance, you let it go, and then you get on with what you have to do. And it makes the LOA journey, the well-being journey, the self-love journey, so much easier. So yeah.
Yes. Do you think visioning is the way to go also in bringing about a manifestation, or to come about, you know, visioning? Yeah. Because I believe that sometimes certain things we cannot probably see. And when we actually go into a meditation and do visioning, it's about connecting to source, and it will help to bring about or the manifestation a bit faster, or to know about things that we need to work on ourselves that we are unaware of at that point in time.
Okay. Yeah, I think visioning is such a wonderful tool because you're allowing the God within to deliver to you through your quiet mind what is the most amazing thing, or the information to be able to create the most amazing thing. So rather than you trying to upload something through a visualization to source, you're sitting receptive and you're listening. So I think it's getting to the place where you can calm your mind chatter and have enough of a antenna to hear the most amazing messages. So if you can practice visioning more, which is you're basically saying, hello, infinite intelligence. I know you have much more information and knowledge and resources than I could ever imagine. So I'm going to sit and listen to what you have to say, rather than I need to be heard and I need to tell you, because so often it's like, prayers or talking to God is all about listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me.
Yes,
So
that's so
it's
true.
Yeah, so it's maturing a little bit to say, hang on a minute, what if I actually stopped all of that, and how about I listen? And when you can do that, you will get the most amazing things come to you that you have never thought of, because you've never quieted your mind long enough to actually hear where the most amazing information can come from. So visioning is, I think, a more mature version of manifesting, because you have got, it's almost like, when kids are in kindergarten and they're playing and they're just talking to each other, they're talking over the top of each other. It's that childlike energy, which is lovely when you're a child, but you will find there's a lot of adults still stuck in that state of, I need to be heard, I need to be heard, I need to be heard, I need to be heard. To really be able to do visioning, you need to mature and get over your I need to be heard. And you need to listen. And you need to listen long enough for the download. And I think that's where that, I think, is more advanced learning and where the real rich information comes from. I think visualizing is good, but now I would pick visioning over visualizing, because visualizing is me in my little, with the little tiny amount of information I have, telling God or source what I want. And it's really not opening up the big, huge warehouse of amazing riches is, I think, because you've only got your little perspective. Whereas if you do visioning, you can have this amazing, it's like when you get those moments where you go, my goodness, I'm so glad I surrendered, because what came to me was so out of my realm of what I could possibly achieve or what could possibly be given to me. That's when you get those moments. The relationship is astoundingly good. Your connection and that those moments with that person is beyond what you could expect or even believe could come. That house that you wanted and you didn't get, thank God you didn't get it, and you surrendered and you let go. Because look at the amazing house, an apartment or location that you couldn't even dream was possible of attracting, and you did. You will be able to say those types of things when you let go of your kindergarten ways of being.
Okay. So it's a
Yeah,
higher level of manifesting.
I think
What?
so.
Yes. Okay.
I think it is the,
Mm.
like, you've got silver level manifesting, you've got gold level manifesting, and you've got platinum level manifesting. But to get to those levels of gold and platinum, you have to let go of your silver behaviors, which is, God, you need to listen to me. God, you need to fix this for me. God, you need to, it's all me, 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 me. You got
Yes,
to learn
a
to
lot of
let
me,
go of,
me.
yeah,
Yes.
that's the kindergarten level of constantly needing external reassurance and needing to be heard. To get to the next level, you got to finally understand that that's not the maturity that's required. You need to stop the talking, stop the chatter, and learn to listen. And then when you learn to listen, then you learn to apply. And that requires for you to calm down mentally and emotionally, and to put your efforts into being still, being at peace. And if you're not feeling those things, it's okay. But that you say to yourself, I'm not at peace, and I need to bring myself back to that place. Once you get good at that, it's like those higher levels of downloads, of clear instructions, of your manifestation is here. All of that comes into focus when you learn to let go of the me manifesting and wanting things within 7 days, 21 days, the way you want it, the way where you're totally telling God constantly, me. It's like you learn to grow up in your relationship to infinite intelligence, God, and source.
Yes, so true, no, Agnes. Last question for you, Agnes.
Yeah.
What do you think of people who are taking a long time to manifest their SP?
Yeah.
Maybe years. Is it not meant to be, or?
Well, I think some people just take longer than others. I personally took quite a long time.
Yes, I
Yeah,
thought about your
years
story.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's not judging yourself. I'm slow, that means I'm not good at this. If you're not manifesting your specific person, ask yourself this question: am I putting manifesting my SP as a stronger desire than my own self-love and my own sense of peace and feeling good enough? Because so many people drive that thing of with obsession, and I understand it because I did it too. I was obsessed with it too. I just want to manifest this person and then everything else will be easier. But I didn't understand then that the reason I wanted to manifest my SP, and that was more important than my self-love and self-worth and my own peace and freedom and joy and centeredness and feeling secure and good enough, that's why I didn't manifest my specific person, because I was still putting them first above my own self. And that is what infinite intelligence was reflecting back to me. You're still putting that first. So this is the experience you're going to have. You're going to still have. And the SP is one of your greatest teachers of all time, because it reflects back to you all your weaknesses, all your bad habits, all your dissatisfaction, all your lack of trust in life, trust in yourself, trust in the process, trying to force, still looking for the next another another psychic reading, another tarot reading, another numerology session, another,
energy healing.
another.
Yes.
It's never been about the SP relationship. It's been about your relationship with yourself and your struggles, your issues, your anxieties, your obsessions, your addictions, your dissatisfaction, your neediness. You're trying to force, you're trying to control, you're trying to make it happen. That's the thing that it's about. So it's like when you see the iceberg in the ocean, you think the top bit is the SP and you think it's about that, but it's all the stuff under the ocean. The big bit is your childhood, your cultural issues, your family issues, your inner child issues, your habits that have not supported you getting there. And if you deal with all that stuff that's under the ocean, that's when that top bit sorts itself out. The SP dynamic, the SP amazing manifestation, because the SP is highlighted to you over and over again what you have got within you. All these things, the anxieties, the neediness, the suffering, thinking love is over there with them when they don't do X, Y, Z, then you don't feel good. Your dissatisfaction, I want more, I'm not getting enough, I'm not getting enough, I'm not getting enough. That is the stuff you got to work on. And when you work on that and you get good at understanding that they're not my source of love, they never were, and I now know how to generate love within me and radiate love out to them. Once you get good at that, the relationship falls at your feet. It's easy. Manifesting SP is easy. People think it's hard, and I understand that because I used to think it was hard too. But it's like you got your magnifying glass on the wrong thing. It's you keep analyzing them, you keep looking at them, you keep looking at what they're giving, what they're not giving, you keep looking at when are they coming, how's this going to happen, have I done enough meditations, have I done enough affirmations? But you've had the magnifying glass on the wrong person. You've got to bring the magnifying glass back to you.
Even more. I mean, even more. I mean, some coaches,
it's a simple journey in theory, but it's a challenging journey.
Yes, thank you so much, Agnes.
Very good. Thank you for your time too. We had a good questions, Sharon. Good questions. Lovely.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for your time, Agnes. I hope you catch up with you soon on your channel. I hope to be a success story on your channel soon too.
Thank you, Sharon. And I will put all the things we talked about in the description. And I really hope to the viewers that this conversation has helped them along their journey. Lots of love, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Sharon, do you want to say goodbye to everybody before we go?
Yes, bye, everyone. May you find love, peace, and joy and on your manifestation journey. Never give up on yourself. Thank you so much, Agnes, and for all. Thank you. Bye.
Lovely. Bye, everyone. I will see you in the next YouTube as always.